Trays. It's Stephanie.
I'm Trey.
I'm Lori.
And this is your weekly dose of BS.
We have Lori.
We do this every year around this time. We love having Lori in the studio, and I know y'all do too. And we love getting Lori's 2025 predictions.
Yes.
So we've done this last few years. And Lori, I know last time we had you on, you had a lot of people reach out.
Yes.
To kind of go over their year and do some insight calls. So we're really excited to have you back and want to hear what you think 2025 has in store for all of us.
How long have we known and worked with Lori? I mean, since for me, I know when it was. It was between season 1 and season 2. I was having a nervous breakdown.
It was.
Yes.
For me,
and you were with Dress for Success.
I think I've known Lori 10 years.
Yes.
I met Lori when I was 18.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Yeah, in Grapevine.
Yep.
So
he was so cute.
I know.
I have photos of Trey when he was such a baby face.
Aw, Trey. And now you're a full man.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So, Lori, what do you see coming for 2025? Because I feel like 2024 was kind of a year of fear and it just, but just with the election and everything. And now that that's all behind us, where do you see us moving forward kind of as a whole?
As a society and what's coming?
Ooh, I love that question. And I think that's the number one question on everybody's mind right now, too.
Yes.
What I will say, and I've been feeling it all year long, that we are speeding up because we needed to get through 2024. I don't know about you all, but it felt like it was fast. Everything was done in a very rapid motion. And so with that, I feel like we were gathering what we needed, almost like picking up what tools you're going to need for 2025, not even realizing why am I learning this, But it was really important for us to go through that. There's also been that almost like going up the mountain feeling with the election and all the fear of the unknown. And so what I've been feeling, and I was telling Trey this the other day, is God started speaking very loudly. And he already gave me my word for the new year. And then he proceeded to walk through it.
Okay.
And so the word is unfolding. So if you think of the way you even turn a page in a book, and you are in anticipation, you've been freaking out in the previous chapter, or you're listening to your podcast and you're like, oh my gosh, who's coming on today? And there's this feeling of huge anticipation that if you're not careful, will go over the edge into fear. So we have to be right on the tightrope and allow every step to unfold as you walk forwards. Then it's going to start unleashing things. And so in that, it's going to hit all the categories. It's going to hit what we're doing as a country leadership-wise. And you're going to see things unfolding that you would have never expected.
Like in a good way or a bad way?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
But you'll be able to deal with the negative because you got a positive. So you're going to feel like the scales are balancing. So, okay, we're going to be doing things with the economy. We'll be getting better. But on the other side, we have to make this adjustment. And you'll accept that because you'll have the positive, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You have to allow yourself that if fear starts to rise, you have to say, all right, it's all unfolding. Allow the next page to turn. Don't get freaked out in chapter 1. So if you think of the whole year like a book, And every chapter is going to be different. And it's going to show us new and different ways in our communities, in our countries, in our relationships, in our economy, in our world relations. You're going to see things you've never seen before.
But in a good way.
In a good way, with the balance. So what I'm saying is, don't be afraid if they say, well, the dollar isn't worth a lot right now, but we're creating a way to balance that by doing XYZ. Wait for that balance to unfold. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it does.
So do you think the economy is going to be a lot better this coming year?
I do.
You think people will be making more and people will be more prosperous? And
I think you're going, and Trey and I were talking about this the other day too. I think you're going to see changes in our tax structure. I think you're going to see changes in the way that we do things in the economy and the way that we loan money, or the way that we do mortgages, or the way it's like you're going to see this check and balance with things. So you're going to feel safer as you walk forward.
Safe is good.
Yes.
Especially with money.
Yes. But if you don't in January, because you're like, I don't know what's coming, let it unfold.
yeah, it takes
So we need to
things
leave
take
the
time.
fear behind.
Yes.
Here, wait, sorry, Lori, look at the camera when you're talking to
sorry.
us. Otherwise, you'll
Sorry.
just have the whole side of your face the whole time.
Well, I worked on the back of the hair too,
Yes.
just in case. So, yes,
That way
I
they can do
forgot
social
about
clips.
that. I'm just so excited. So excited.
So I love what you say, Lori, about fear, because whenever I call Lori and I'm like, she's like, Trey, you have a choice in every situation to choose fear or faith.
Yep.
And they're the same emotion, and you have a choice to pick the two. Can you kind of explain that?
Yep. I'm going to talk about it first from a brain standpoint, okay? Our brain cannot have a positive and a negative that is being thought about and residing at the same time. You can't do it. You cannot have something that is negative and you're fearful over it at the same time as you're happy and you've got this over here. It doesn't work. The brain focuses and highlights one thing at a time with it. And so with that, you want to think about, take a step. Am I taking it in fear or faith? Some people say fear or love. And so you have the ability to make that decision in each step of every single day. When you start feeling yourself getting a little bit anxious, immediately go to gratitude. Gratitude is on the other side of the equation. Gratitude cannot reside in fear. You can't do it. And so the more that, even if you keep a notebook to your side with you and you are listing throughout the day, okay, I was really grateful for being able to be on the podcast with Stephanie and Trey today, being able to know some of the listeners that you all have, being able to get up today on a Friday and actually feel good and get out for the day. That's what I hold on to. Then I'm not worried about waking up and having a challenge. You set it in the first part of the day.
Yep.
And I actually set it and create the intention, and I pray while I'm laying there with my cat on my chest. And she purrs loudly, so it activates it in my body.
You know, I love whenever Zach goes to have a session with Lori, and then he comes home and he's like, there were like sound bites that Lori gave me, and they're the same things that you've told me. And I'm like, I know, because I have 10 years worth of Lori wrapped up in me. I was like, I got it. But I was having a conversation the other day with a friend about how he's looking for a job. And I was like, you need to wake up every day and say, I'm going to get a job. It's going to be in Dallas. It's going to pay me this much. Like, you have to set that expectation for yourself. Because if you sit around all day and you're like, I'm never going to get a job. No one's calling me back. No one's hiring me. Like, then you're never going to get it. But I think what you fill your head with is what dictates the path you go on in life.
Yep.
And I guess some people call that manifesting, but it's like, it's just that your head will lead you where you're going to go in life.
Yeah.
And your mindset.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Oh.
And this is
I want to hear.
Tell me.
The debate
This
starts.
is what I actually did a cameo last night, and this is what I truly believe in life, and with at least my life. Okay, I cannot speak to anybody else's life, but with my life, this is what I believe. I think that God has what is yours is meant to be yours, and God has that in place.
Yep.
And the horrible things will lead you to what you're supposed to do in life. For me, everything that's happened to me that has led me to where I am has happened on chance. I have not gone out and I have not sought after it. I have not, it has found me. Even Travis, like my marriage, it kind of found me. I wasn't looking, I wasn't seeking, I wasn't like, I'm going to find a man and, going full force. I just kind of was like, when it happens, it happens. I think sometimes you can try to force things. And if it's not meant to be yours, it's never going to happen. And then you think God has forsaken you and he doesn't care about you. But I think that I always feel like people should not worry and focus so much on like what's ahead of them. Just like appreciate what you have now and know that what's meant to be yours is going to be yours. Yeah. And maybe it'll take 5 to 15 years, but the hardships sometimes really make you grateful for where you end up. And I think for me, not getting instant gratification. Like I had 2 horrible jobs. Like my first job was horrible.
Which one? El Chico?
No, that was like, I would not consider that like after college jobs. My first job after college,
that was your favorite job.
Yeah. El Chico was hard, but because of the chips and salsa, we'll get back to that another time. But, and the drinks, because y'all, if you go to Mexican, we'll talk about that another time. That's going to spin me. That's so stressful. But I think that at least for me, like I had jobs that I made very, very little money. But you know what? The job that I worked at with homeless pregnant women, which was not a job I loved. It was horrible. It was a very unthankful job. I mean, it was like nobody really appreciated what you were doing. I did not really love my boss. She was kind of like she treated me like I was just like so beneath her, made me make her breakfast every day, would pick her whiskers while she was talking to me. It was very uncomfortable.
Her what?
Like her whiskers. Like she would like sit there and like it was just, it was not my dream job, right? But working with the women there and seeing how blessed I was, even though I had very little, they had so much less, right? So I was like, okay, you know what? Like there's always somebody around you who would literally die to have the life you're living. Yes. Even if it's a life that you're not really grateful for, that you're like, this isn't where I wanted to be, because at that time that was not where I wanted to be. But I knew every girl that was living there that was homeless and pregnant and scared to death would kill to be in my shoes working that job. So that's my thing. It's all perspective, right? Like, a billionaire would hate my life, right? But I think I have a pretty good life. And, I think and whenever you die, you can't take it with you. So I think it's all about the people and the relationships and being a good mom. Like I would rather have my kids feel really good about their childhood and how I am as a mom than feel really good about the electric bikes that I bought them. Like it's just, So I don't know. That's my opinion. I just think, yes, everybody wants to have a really great job and make a lot of money and but sometimes you have to sift through the crap to get where you want.
Staying in a positive, grateful mindset, I think that's the important part. And that's the choice you have to make. And actually, I really love BetterHelp last month did a gratitude campaign that we were a part of. And each week that we talked about BetterHelp, we talked about something that we were grateful for. And it kind of reminded me that all of us are whether we're in the pit or the peak, all of us are in a spot right now that we prayed for. Like we prayed to be where we're at right now. And we are oftentimes so focused on getting to that next level that we forget to be grateful for where we're at now, because where we're at now is what we wanted so bad
Yes.
a while ago.
You're right.
You know?
And I will tell you, we're doing a challenge right now, if anyone wants to join us, that is all about finding 50 blessings before the end of the year. And you have to we have a chart, you have to initial it, and you have to share out what that blessing is. Because when you talk about your blessings or you talk about yours, someone else is reminded of theirs.
Yeah.
And they start that whole appreciation journey. And so part of it is also being able to stay focused in it. We know that anxiousness, anxieties, depression, all of the other mental health challenges that our country has, we are the number one in the world for people that are having mental health challenges.
Yeah.
And part of it is because we are always wanting that brass ring or that silver ball. And instead being able to say, what do I have today? Who is in my life that I am so grateful for?
Yeah.
What am I able to bless and give others? There's another thing I really quick want to share. It's a technique that I use, especially with people in business or in relationship with someone else, okay? And instead of a win-win, which our society gets very hooked in and leads us to what I don't have instead. It's why I always want to be winning. You know, you hear it all the time. It is a bless relationship. So if I do something that blesses you and then you accept it, part of the challenge, and then I find a way to bless you back, that doesn't mean that I have to go out and buy you a lavish gift. It means that I honor you, that I respect where you are and who you are. Sometimes words of affirmation are what people are craving. So we all want to say, we love you dearly. Thank you for listening. You guys are the best followers and listeners.
You really are, yes.
And I
truly.
know many of you because you've reached out before, and you guys are like some of my favorite clients. So keep on the road of that.
Yeah.
That's an example.
Do you think a lot of the mental health stuff is maybe because of social media? I think there's maybe you see all these people that have seemingly perfect lives, who are traveling a lot, who are doing all the things, or living this perfect life. And trust me, they're not. It's just a snapshot or a really, produced version of them, right?
Yes.
And I think that sometimes it's, whenever you didn't have social media, it was easier not to judge your life versus others, right? Because there are some people that but I know a lot of people who have a very produced social media life, right? And they're very normal people who that's not their life, And
that's why I love Stephanie and I, because there is nothing about our social media that is
fabulous.
Like, look at me. It's usually we're doing something stupid. And then we're like, look what we did.
Yes.
My favorite is your race.
You know what?
Yes.
I had more people reach out about Stephanie potentially pooping her pants during that race.
Oh,
my
But what a great conversation starter.
My 15-year-old was like, Mom, why did you I keep forgetting that so many of his friends follow me on Instagram, and I'm sure it was like,
yes. It was the talk of the school last week.
Yeah, they're like, wow, your mom's a winner.
I can hear it now. My mom won't let me come over to your house anymore.
Yeah, they're like, that Holman girl is crazy.
She's just pooping all over the town. Wow. Yeah.
But yes.
But people do. They build this fake world on social media. And it's not
Well, and a lot of even like the big travel bloggers, or even like, they stay in those places for free.
Yes.
They're there not really enjoying their vacation. Trust me, I had one like hotel reach out to me and say, "Oh, I'd love to host you and your family. Would you guys like to come?" And I was, and they were like, "We will give you guys the, suite." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this would be such a fun thing for me to do with my family. All you have to do is take pictures, whatever." And so I said yes. But you know what? It wasn't like one of my favorite family vacations at all, because I felt like I had to work and take content and my children are not like, they don't love that stuff. And Travis really hates it. So I just felt like I was annoying my family the whole time, because that's not who they are, right? Like, and honestly, I don't really enjoy, I usually would have somebody with me for that. But so that's why I'm saying a lot of times when you see people that seem to be living these crazy lives, especially the big creators, they're not, those events are not fun for them. They have to sit there and make sure they get all this content, and they're not experiencing, they're not living in the moment, because they have to work. Like there's a give and take for all that, right?
And I have to say something about that. So I'm hearing it very loudly right now. We're walking into a time, and you're seeing it with those that are teaching social media strategies and doing marketing campaigns. I was talking with a girl last week who owns a big marketing company, and she said, "I want you real in everything you do." And she said, "We are moving away from all the canned social media. I'd rather you be sitting there in your robe with a cup of coffee and a little bit of mascara on and tell me the real truth about something than you in a lighted studio and doing a professional reel." And she said, there's reason for both. But she said, what people follow and will start following is realness. And I believe that next year we are going to be walking into the most authentic year.
Yeah.
Where people are going to really question you and say, is that really you? Did you really go and do that? Or we want to see you cooking with the boys, or splashing in the pool with them, or trying to ride one of their electric bikes.
Oh, I can ride their electric bike.
They want it.
Well, and I feel like 2025 is going to be a little bit of a year of truth. I think like TikTok, and while social media has its downsides, I think it also has its pros.
Yes,
and there's a lot of truth that also comes out in social media. I think we're naturally fed a lot of lies, maybe just in traditional media. But like even like with the Diddy stuff, like truth is coming out and good is going to prosper.
Yes.
I really feel that.
I do too.
In 2025. It's like some of those things that have been hidden behind the curtain are going to come out, and we're going to start figuring things out a little more. And that's the blessing of social media is, we can communicate with one another, and we're not relying on a third-party source to funnel it to us.
Yeah. You know what I want to see for anybody out there that has a TikTok account? I really thought of this. And I would love to follow somebody who is building their life from the, like somebody who just gets out of prison, and then they're like, you follow them like rebuilding. I think that would be so fascinating.
Jen Shaw.
And she should do that. Jen, this is my idea for you. But you know what I'm saying? Or somebody who's like really like battling and overcoming like even like addictions or something. Yeah. I think that would be such a powerful thing to like watch. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, I think people building their lives and just being honest on where they are. Because a lot of people that I like to follow are people who, I don't know, that they're very authentic, but are kind of like living their truth, but in a very like a way that you wouldn't expect them to share it, right? Like things that some people hide, where they're like, no, if this is what's happening, and it's not pretty.
Well, and it's one of the reasons why I think God shifted me into telling women's stories. Because our stories are so incredibly healing and transformational for the person. But on the outside, when you see my story or you read it or you listen to it on an audio, you start to really realize, wow. And you also develop more gratitude for where you are. And you also see yourself in that person's life. It's a huge ripple effect. I always use the whole idea of rippling or waves for us to really be able to support each other in life as we're going through things.
Yeah, because sometimes you can feel very alone. Like I remember seeing one lady, I'm sure everyone has seen this, but like on TikTok, and she had this really beautiful cape and she was getting married that day. Did you see this, Trey? And she got stood up at the altar.
Oh, yes.
And it's something that you as a, especially, I think any human can put I would be like mortified how, like I would probably cry and go like it'd be in a hole for 2 months, but I love the way that she handled it because it was such an empowering moment for her. Like she left, she decided not to throw away her wedding and everything. So there's like a video of her whenever she is saying she got like left at the altar, and instead of like laying in the crap of the situation, she went out and just made the most of it. And there was a video of her like walking to her, what would it be, her reception. And I think I need to rechange my way of focus, because if that was me, I would think it was like the walk of shame, right? Like, oh, everyone's judging me. Everyone's like, I would be so embarrassed, right? But she walked in and there was so much love. And like, it was the most, it made me cry. It was so beautiful. But that's the truth of life, right? Like if you went to something like that, people are rooting for you and they're loving you and they want to support you and surround you. And I think sometimes you have to get out of your own, your own way to let those people love and support. And it was beautiful. But I that's why I think I love like the real, I love the real things, the real stuff out there, because it makes you look at things differently, where I've always looked at it like, oh my gosh, that'd be so embarrassing. That'd be so horrible. And then I watched this lady go through what I think would be just like every woman's like nightmare, just be so devastating. And she did it with such grace. And it was such a beautiful thing to watch and so empowering for a lot of women. The way that she kind of stood and didn't let this guy's decision define her as a woman. It was beautiful. It was really beautiful. So, yeah.
And being one of those women that was 2 days away from the wedding and had it happen, my feeling was I wanted to kill it.
Yeah.
But,
this happened to you? Wait. See, I feel like I would be bitter and I never knew this. What happened? What happened?
Oh, that's
you canceled
a long
wedding
story.
2 days before?
Yeah. Thank goodness
You
it was
did,
a
or
destination. He canceled.
Were you devastated?
I was, and I had to go back to work.
Yeah.
And they had just had a wedding shower for me the week before because it was a destination.
Where?
I didn't want to tell my mom. I didn't want to.
Did you have
couldn't even
people
tell
there?
my sister. We had a few friends that were meeting us for the destination. And I had to cancel it all. So recently, funny story, a friend of mine is doing a retreat in like the same resort where we would have gotten married, right? Now, it was a God thing that we didn't get married.
Yeah.
God saved me, that's in one of my books, from being in that pretty much abusive relationship. So that's a good thing. But she invited me, and I think I still have PTS. You know, they dropped the D, by the way. It's PTS now. So, and I'm like, no. I'd love to come to your retreat, but could you move the location? Because I could just see me walking around the resort going, like this. So, but yes.
Wow.
Thank goodness it wasn't like my first marriage where I had all the family and friends and walked into it and was cutting the cake. And,
I would murder.
Oh, yeah. It was hard.
Yeah.
But again, you look at the flip side, and I had so many friends that said, oh, we wanted to say something. We were so concerned. We loved you and we would have supported you, but we just were concerned about him. And it's like, now you tell me.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is tell your friends when they are possibly not making the right choice. But I was one of those people that needed the lightning to hit for me to learn the lesson so that I could also move forwards in my life. So you also have to let your friends go through things that periodically they need the lesson. It's like trying to teach a child and say, oh, no, don't go do that. I did that when I was 21 and, no. Well, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
They have to go out and experience the drunken stupor at 21 or whatever that may be. You're heading into those fun things.
Lord, yeah. Oh, my gosh, my children. Oh, my gosh. It's going to be a weird year for me because the chance is going to be driving this year. So it's going to be so crazy. So
we
crazy.
Said, unfold, unleash.
I'm going to be like, Lord Jesus. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm going to be that person that's like, okay, you drive your car and I'll be right behind you. I'll be
in the trunk. Just in case you need me, I'll knock.
You know what? I had a client recently that bought a condo, and her mom called me the next day and wanted to buy a condo too in the same building, and bought the condo right next door to her and closed before her, and the daughter didn't know. And I called Stephanie. I was like, "That's gonna be you."
100%. Yes.
Chance be like, "I bought a house," and she'll be like, "I bought the neighborhood."
And we're all moving in.
No, that's my goal. Like I told Trey,
it's a compound.
Wherever my kids go to college, I want to get a place. Like at first
Dorm mom.
I was thinking that I would like buy a little house that they could live, that they could live and like maybe rent a room out to their friend, and then I would have the other room when I came in and visited. But then if that's too much for them, then maybe I'll buy that little a little apartment for me, and then I can just go visit. I don't want to live where unless it's a really cool place for them to go to college. I don't want to live there because I have crews I have to take care of too.
Yes,
but it could be really expensive because I could have one. They need to go to the same college, or I'm going to have 2 apartments that I can just
Yep.
I love it.
But,
Okay, well, we are not done with this conversation. We are going to carry this on next week. We have so much more to discuss. But before we do, Lori, if anyone is listening and they want to reach out to you and talk to you like we are, how can they do that?
All right. So for the new 2025 new year, you can reach out even now over the holidays for assistance at Walk with Lori on Instagram and Lori Lane Dixon on Facebook.
And it's Lori.
Correct. And Dixon is Dixon. Please don't misspell me.
Yeah.
How else would they spell it? DYX, huh?
Oh, I've had everything. I've had DIZON. I've had DICKSON.
Oh, DICK. Yes.
And
that
I'm like,
makes sense. I'm like,
no.
how else would I spell Dixon?
No.
Yeah, but that's because I've known you. DICK
Like
is the other way.
Nixon.
Yeah, Nixon. Dixon,
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So reach out if you need me over the holidays.
Yep. I love it. We finished up the last week's episode. We started kind of talking about Chance a little bit. So I want to know, Lori, what do you see coming for Stephanie in 2025?
Ooh. Well, number one, I think you're going to keep increasing business-wise.
Okay.
If you guys love her on Amazon.
Yes! I'm so glad you brought it up.
I follow it every time she says, I'm on.
Our Amazon lives are wild. We have a wild time.
Popular because they're very special.
I'm actually shocked that they still let us do those because
yes, me too.
I don't know the rules, but I think I've broken all of them.
He has. I'm like, Trey.
The funniest thing is Art tells me, my husband, you cannot watch those. You keep buying stuff you don't need just because you love watching.
You need everything that you
yes,
buy.
me too.
Yes.
I think Zach watches them out of fear, and then he likes to be the fact checker in the comments.
Yes, I do love Zach because he will let Trey. He kind of push Trey a little bit. It's very entertaining.
So
the
rude.
Halloween one was hysterical.
That was
yeah, that was probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
Done. I mean, it was also kind of the worst because we did lose So I don't know. The last two were really fun. The last one
No, we've done great.
was yeah.
Well, if you don't follow Stephanie on Amazon, watch our lives. They're a
Watch our
great
lives.
time.
They're so
They are.
stupid.
They
It's like
are.
QVC, but like unhinged.
really
so
unhinged.
much better.
But-
Yes.
But we would have been fired like years ago if we were actually.
I called Stephanie's manager and begged for us to be able to do more Amazon lives, and they said yes. Shockingly,
He likes to do them
was
more
like,
than I do.
I
He's
loved
like
it.
he's so fun.
I
yes.
get nothing out of it except pure enjoyment.
Now you know why I said your business is growing.
Yes, it's so funny.
Because I do believe
Oh my
you
gosh.
guys don't be surprised. You're going to start walking into other things that are going to invite you to like come run their half marathon and do
Trey.
like a commentary.
If we become
because
fitness influencers, I'm gonna die.
That's our 2025 goal. We're going to be,
Follow us for more fitness advice.
Oh my gosh, yes.
well,
I'll be like,
in the last episode, I said the two words that were for 2025 are unfold and unleash. So I'm feeling like y'all are unleashing in a bigger way. So don't be
Stephanie
surprised
unleashed in a
what's
very big way
coming.
before that race.
Oh,
in
I
the
did.
toilet.
I did. I was not the same for 3 days. I unleashed so much.
Oh,
my body
goodness.
was
So wow,
like,
if we get a race sponsorship after that, God bless.
who would sponsor us?
I don't.
Like
I feel like we try to.
X-Lax?
I feel like we try to repel these brands. Somehow they just keep coming back. It's weird.
They're like, we want you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we feel like her business is going to build. What else do we
Yes.
feel like is going to come for Stephanie in 2025?
I also think that you all as a family are going to be doing even more things that unite you. And so whether it's, I know Travis is working on the Me space, and I see where even Cruz is getting more interested in the way that we work with neurodiverse kids and youth and adults. And so I feel like there's going to be things that you all will engage in that helps you as a family, that you actually are proud of.
Okay.
I also see something that you, again, as a family, are doing as a charity or as an outreach even further, because I know that is such a huge piece for you all. You're involved in other charities in a great way, but I feel like there's something else that you're going to be filming in, involved in, talking about that is in that area as well.
Okay.
Okay, so that's kind of what I see coming towards you.
Okay.
You're not even going to have to go and do seeking of things. They're literally going to be in the mail or on your doorstep. So know that that's a big piece. I see you traveling more.
Her
so
favorite.
that, Stephanie
Fitness
out of
and
the
travel
house.
influencer. Yes. Oh, yes.
Woo! But I do see where you're going to need, as we've talked about before, you're going to need a little bit of the balance. And so you're going to be increasing in business and in outreach, but then you're going to need that downtime, that quiet time, that go to the beach, go to the mountains, go ski, go do something with family. Because if not, I know Travis needs that as well. Y'all are not going to be able to handle where the boys are going and all of their extracurricular things too.
Okay.
So be ready for that.
Okay. What about our youngest son? We're thinking about doing a possible, school transition with him. I don't know if he's going to want to do it. I'm kind of letting him have a little empowering moment. But he's doing so well where he is. And I don't know if moving would be a good thing for him or not, but I want him to explore other options because he's his grades are insanely good. He's just doing so well. I just want to see how he feels about maybe moving into something a little bit more mainstream.
I really believe that he will eventually want to do something that is what I see as like a transitionary, where he's not going anywhere else full time. So what I see is like, this is his home community, and this is another opportunity for him to go in for a class or go in for 2 classes. So he's starting to be able to feel his own strength over here too, but he still has the support of his previous community. He needs that as almost like a jumping off point or like a springboard. And so you want to build him up for success. And so he needs to feel success on the other side of it.
Okay.
So do it gradually through the year.
Okay.
Give him those opportunities. And I think where he'll look at, they're going to be willing that if he is over here getting support, they are more than likely to say, you know what, he's excelling in math. We'd love to have him for a math class and also learn to get to know him so that we can support him better.
Okay.
Okay.
And then my oldest has surgery that we're doing. So how is that going to go for him?
There's some things around it that I would tell you, make sure that he goes through whatever therapeutically he needs after it.
Okay.
I feel like there's something that's being affected that he's got to have the full therapy of it to make sure that he's getting stronger and that he feels he's ready to get back into whatever he loves. It's going to be, again, it's interesting. Wow, that whole unfolding of how I feel about this. Is this something I'm ready as a jump-off point to be done with any kind of additional therapy around it? So I don't know if it's like a joint or a physical thing like that, but I'm telling you to make sure that he feels good about where he's at before he re-engages.
Okay, yeah. And then, I have 2 more questions. Okay. I am thinking about making a big financial move, like purchasing something outside of Travis, something that's going to stretch me a little bit financially, maybe a lot more than I'm comfortable with.
Okay.
It'll be a leap of financial faith.
It'll be a leap of financial faith, and I'm not that person. That's a Trey personality, right? Like Trey would be like, I'm going to jump in and figure it out.
I bought 2.
Yeah. Exactly.
But should I do that, or should I like stay where I am and just do something safer?
I feel that for you, next year is going to be a year of being able to grow in the assets that you have.
Okay.
I would do something that you know that you feel it. Literally, God's giving you the sign like, a little spotlight.
Yeah.
And that you feel so comfortable with where that little stretch is that you can accept it.
Okay. Yep.
Don't go over the other side quite yet, because I do see that coming, but make it so that it's literally right at the edge of what is feeling like, ooh, I think I can grow my wings and do a little more here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I need to save a little bit more. That's what I believe. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I would go through at least the first 3 months, the first quarter of the year, and then start navigating it and really seek it out and then allow it.
Huh?
That kind of tracks with the timeline.
Yeah, because I would not want to jump into it right now, but I think it would be dumb. But I think I don't know. I'm back and forth. I'm going to go see it, and then I'll take Trey, and then we'll figure it out. Okay, one more thing, and this has nothing to do with, well, it kind of does. Travis has been going through something, you know what it is, for like, oh my gosh, over a year now, a business thing. Will that get figured out between him and the person?
Oh, boy. I always felt that it would be dealt with before now. And there have been outside influences that keep like grabbing whatever, like in a business deal. Sometimes you're working with like a person or a group, and then you think that's who you're working with when really there's puppet masters over here. I feel that it is meant to be pushed almost through the sand, literally pushed, so that the outside puppet masters are not always ready for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There has to be a little bit of element of surprise. And that's interesting because I haven't felt that before.
Yeah.
It's almost gonna be like, okay, yeah, we're working on this. And then, woo, around, take it, do this, boom, it's a 1-day offer.
Okay.
You know, it's that kind of thing, so that sometimes people get comfortable in business deals and they don't move.
Yeah.
They get very rigid and rooted. This needs to be something that uproots them.
Yes. Okay.
So he needs to focus on the element of surprise and the uprooting.
Okay.
In such a way that it'll go through.
Oh, one more thing about Trey and I. We are going to have a new studio, like in the new year. Yay! How is that going to go?
I can't wait.
Me neither.
I feel like it is, you guys have grown. You've matured.
Yes.
You know, it's kind of like getting your first car. You know, it's not really what you want, but you love it anyway, and then you get rid of it, and you get what you really want.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what's going to happen. You guys will really love it. It's going to be very, very you. And I feel like it's going to bring more. There needs to be like a new freshness.
Yeah.
You know, like again, it's a new chapter. You're turning a page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
I can't wait.
I love whenever I send people to Lori like for their first time and they're like, do I ask questions? I was like, Lori, I'll tell you what you need to know. And my favorite thing always to ask Lori is just like, what do I need to know? What is God trying to tell me? So what do you feel like God is trying to tell me for 2025?
I keep feeling that you need to tighten up, okay, so that what is around you is your inner circle, your business dealings, where literally I see you like sitting firmly and being able to spin all of the dials that you need to spin and balance it out. So we're going to do a trip, but then I'm going to work on this business thing, and then we're going to do this, and keeping it close to you this year. You will do some new experiences that are going to grow you, that every once in a while you're going to go, oh my gosh, what happened here? Why did we do this? But it's the lesson to, again, push through and say, all right, yes, this is what we wanted. So I want you to feel that. It's also tightening up where God wants you heading. There is a big calling for you that he is like, dude, back over here. He's going to tell you loudly. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel a pull to it, and you're going to be like, I never thought I'd be working on blah, blah, blah.
That's your fitness model stuff.
Yes, it is. I'm going to be a model.
I love it. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
What do we feel around children?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. I do feel like there's going to be some solidifying for you and Zach to know exactly where you are and how things are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's like laying a foundation, okay? I do think you'll have conversations almost like interviewing about things. This is going to be a year of exploration around stuff. That's what I would call your year.
So you feel like probably no baby in 2025, but they will figure out what path they want to have a baby in 2025.
Yes, it'll be more solidified around like the third or fourth quarter of the year. You're going to be saying, I really need, we need to make a decision on this.
Mm-hmm.
Is this what we're going to invest in instead of this? And you guys need that really firm foundation, thus why you're tightening inner circle, inner work, so that you'll be ready to make big decisions.
Oh, where do you think? Do you think Trey will get a new house next year?
That is a possibility. I will tell you, I think there's going to be something that you're just literally going to fall into, and almost like it's not even on the market yet. And like Damon tells you about it, or a client calls you and says, hey, I got this friend. And you're like, you're kidding. Let me come see it. And you had no idea that it would be something that you and Zach would consider. I've always felt that you will maintain the house you have, and that you'll end up doing some reno work and some updating work on something that's like a hidden gem. And this will be like rental.
Yeah.
Please do not Airbnb.
Oh, no.
So, but it's a rental, and you'll be okay with that.
My current house.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's a growth move. It's not like going to go buy the $13 million home, that I know you want. It's like, gosh, this is crazy.
Trey, you should just go buy that $13 million home. And you and I will figure it out together.
We will figure it out.
Yes, you can do it together.
Yes.
And he can, renovate it.
Yes.
And you guys can do Amazon Lives in it.
we had to own Amazon.
Whenever I first started real estate, one of the first houses I saw was this abandoned, 14,000 square foot, huge mansion. And it was foreclosed. And I called Lori and I was like, Lori, I feel like God has me here. And she was like, I don't feel that.
Did they go through the tornado and something, and it probably needed $14 million of work?
Yeah, probably.
Yes. You would get in there and
I was like, this is mine.
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel me here.
She was those were not angels singing.
Yeah. She was like, I think you should leave that house. Yeah.
Oh,
and then when it
I
sold, I was
remember
devastated.
that house.
I have some houses on Zillow.
How much was that
It
selling
was
for?
$3.5 million, but it was worth 12.
And how much work do you think it needed?
Probably
14.
probably $3 million worth of work.
Well, you would have landed good. I mean,
would
but
have
here's the
landed
deal.
fine.
Here's the deal. I know for a fact because I've renovated, and Travis and I've had many homes. It's always much more than you think it is, right?
But
and
it
never ends.
And it never ends, and then it's going to have issues. And
there are certain houses that I can nowhere near afford that I have saved on Zillow, and I get devastated when they sell. I'm like, dang it.
Keep looking at them and saying, oh, it's good to have goals.
I know. This penthouse off Central Park sold the other day, and I mourned for
Did you go
the whole
see
day.
it?
No.
You've never...
I just saw it online, and I was like, I love that one.
You should take me to look at those.
No, it was in New York.
Oh, no. Why
And I just
are
had
you
it
wanting
saved.
to
I just
live in
loved
New
it.
York?
No, I just wanted it.
As a second home?
Yeah, it's on the vision board.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
Well,
and
do love you.
that's okay. It's all right, like I said, to have goals.
Yes.
You know, dreams and dream big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you are. I do think you are a lot better at managing, like, your money and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that you've grown up a little bit. Like, he used to come over to my house and just have a new Gucci, Prada, something that he really didn't. And it wasn't even something that was practical. It was like a sparkly Gucci jacket that you can really only wear a few times.
I love that jacket.
He now rents it out.
Yeah, Trey's runway. Yeah.
Yeah, Trey's runway.
Yeah. Yep. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, now we're so saving for a baby. Those are going to be expensive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm already like stressing myself out over how I've already like messed up my kid.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just already like overthinking it. Like schools and like I'm kind of thinking with that, like with our next house, like where do we want to live? Like either we're going to pay $40,000 a head for private school or we're going to live in Highland Park.
There are private schools that are cheaper than that though. Here.
There are.
Children.
There are.
Huh?
Children are a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
they are.
You know, it's kind of great because you need to really have a child sooner than later because my kids could help babysit, tote them around. Like, they really do owe
And
you.
Nana Lori
you know what?
is still available.
She's saying this, but what Stephanie actually means is her kids are going to be out of the house soon, and she is going to be sipping mimosas while I'm calling her, crying that my kid won't stop crying.
With throw up
Yeah.
all
Yes.
over
And
the,
she'll be like, "Good
the
luck."
Gucci.
Be like, oh,
Yeah.
wow. That sucks
I'm
for you.
so
Yeah.
sorry.
Just remember, you prayed about this. You're so blessed.
Back to the earlier conversation of, is it fear or is it?
You need to go listen to the podcast, the end of 2024, when you were this was your dream.
Yep.
You know, honestly, you'll be good. I need you to have a daughter, though, because the other day, Trey and I we walked into Neiman Marcus for something. I think we were going,
we're looking for
Neiman
Travis's
Marcus.
Christmas gift.
And
no,
don't
we were
tell
not.
what it
That's,
is.
We
we
were
were
shopping
looking
for
for
the race.
ourselves. We were shopping.
We were shopping for the race.
For shoes for him and a outfit for me. And we always walk into Neiman. I don't know why Neiman Marcus is the place we always park. And then
It's where God takes us.
I looked to the right and I was like, my heart stopped.
Little girl dresses.
And it was a really cute little onesie tutu. And I was like, oh,
Dior.
I need you to have
No,
a daughter.
there was a little Zimmerman dress, but it was like the miniature version of like the
Yes.
adult version.
It was so good.
Like you and my daughter are going to match.
It'll be
Yeah.
baby Dior head to
Yes.
toe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
People want to know if it's
Baby
your
Chanel.
kid or my kid if you have a little girl. I'd be like, we need to have joint custody.
I love it. It'll be, let's see, what are you going to be called?
Me? Oh, I don't know.
Grandma Stephanie.
Oh, heck no. I'll kill you.
So, Lori.
Princess Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Yes, that's what my nieces used to call me. When they
Princess
first met me,
Stephanie.
I was Princess Stephanie. I loved every minute of it. They don't call me that anymore.
I love it.
You got to bring that back.
Yeah, so I need somebody else.
You have to wear your tiara through the
Yes.
holidays and into 2025.
Yep.
Own it. Own
Yeah,
it.
Yep.
exactly.
So, Lori, I know the holidays for some people are joyous and filled with, you have Christmas trees and lights and it's happy. And then you go into January and it's kind of, you have like the out of the holidays depression. But also for some people, the holidays are a little more lonely. What advice would you give for people in this time as we walk in to this next phase, this next year?
Couple things. Number one, I would say don't isolate yourself. You need to be around people, even if you don't feel like being around people. Also, go out and serve in something because it will, as Stephanie has talked about before, getting out and working at a food pantry or getting out and going over and help a neighbor that you have that is needing something, even helping put their Christmas decorations up, but also having people over where you are. Even if you have nothing much than a small tree on a desk, have people over that you do trust so that energy and that feeling of laughter and pizza and watching a movie, it stays and it lingers so that you aren't alone in things. You also want to reach out if you are really struggling. I work through the holidays, except for the big major days. And when we're in Disney this year, we're taking Logan. So his first Disney trip. But I even talk to clients when I'm on vacation. If you need, call BetterHelp. I mean, get on and get out there and talk to someone. It also is about realizing what the season is. It isn't about how much you have. It isn't about having the most gorgeous tree or the biggest lights outside. It is about being connected in your faith walk. Go to church, go to Christmas Eve, go to Christmas Day. If you're Jewish, go to synagogue, be around Hanukkah services, or get out and go somewhere where there are community events. Go to the lighting of a Christmas tree in your community. I live in Grapevine, and I'm telling you, it is the Christmas capital.
It is. It's the Christmas capital of Texas.
Oh, yeah,
You
it
cannot
is.
help but laugh and have fun with the 3 million other crazy people out there. So get out and do things. Also, start again, look at those blessings, that gratitude, write it down. And then as you go into the new year, make a plan. Create a couple of things that are attainable for you to have success in. I talked to a young lady the other day, and I said, I want you to go out, walk your dog, go to the local coffee shop, and meet one person. Say, I'm new in the area, and meet one person. Ask about them. People want to have someone that they can share their life with. It's not weird. I'm telling you, people will say, wow, thank you for saying, that I was smiling while I was sitting here. That made someone's day. You need to be a conduit.
Yeah.
When you are, you will feel their happiness. So it's who humans are.
I have a really great thing to share for people who are lonely during the holidays. And I did this with Chance. I have to find out exactly what it's called so I don't lie to y'all.
You don't lie to us.
Okay. It is, it's Body and Soul. And if you Google it in Dallas, I did this with Chance because he, last minute told me he had to have 2 hours to fulfill his community service of the trimester. And we had 5 days to fulfill them. And I was just like, okay, let's find a way, I wanted to work with the homeless, right? So I was like, and I thought it would create some gratitude in him too, right? I was like, let's you and I work with feed the homeless, whatever. So we did this thing. It's Body and Soul. It's in Dallas. And thank you. I wish I could. Anyways, downtown at one of the churches, and you go there. It's Saturday morning. I think it's 7 a.m. And it was so beautiful. I actually cried during some of it because I was sitting there working this event with homeless people who have literally nothing. And this one guy, had this little station we were passing out before we gave them breakfast. I mean, it's a religious thing. It's like a church that does this. And we were passing out toothbrush, toothpaste. It's almost like a shop, and you have a little basket. And then I realized I probably need to buy them stuff for their shop because we ran out at one point. Yes, Trey.
Yes.
Did you buy them stuff?
Next time I go there, I'm going to just bring a bunch of mini toothbrushes and toothpaste because I think that they need it. I mean, it's all donations. So, but anyways, you go there, and I was in charge of the toothbrush, toothpaste, and dental floss. For those of you who really want to know, and all these people are coming up. They're so nice. Chance was a greeter, so he was greeting everybody that came in. So I kind of separated from him because I wanted him to experience it in his own way and not just hold on to me. And this one guy walks in and to get a toothbrush and toothpaste, and there's 4 ladies serving them, and he just starts praying over us. And and it like made me cry because I'm like, this man has nothing, and he he like takes it upon himself to bless us and to make us feel better whenever, like, that's kind of what I thought we were here for. And then they did church, and the same man gets up in the middle and just starts the most beautiful voice and just starts singing and like praising God and talking about how blessed he is and how he has everything he needs and the most beautiful song. And it really, I think it really was good for Chance because he lives a very, easy, very privileged life. I'm not going to lie and say he doesn't. And I think it was good for him to see how lucky he is, but also just like how these people, well, that's what we talked about on the way home. I was like, what is your takeaway? And he was like, I was just like, it stuck with me how these people, like, they weren't, like great, like walking around talking to themselves. He's like, they're just like me. They're just, normal people wanting, to have a friend and, and to be a part of a community. It was really beautiful, but it's called, it's called Soul. I don't see that address on it, but if you just Google it, it is Body and Soul, and it's on Saturdays, and it's really, really, really wonderful. Beautiful. And it's downtown Dallas, and it's the most beautiful group of people. And there's maybe like 40 to 60 people that come, and highly recommend, especially if you can take your child. I think that would be something great to do over the holidays because it really does kind of show you that, I think a lot of times people, like especially that are homeless, everyone's just like, oh, they're
written off.
They are, or people like, oh, they're on drugs, or oh, they're lazy, or oh, they're this and that. Not really. They're just a lot of times very normal people that just had something like a bad, something bad that just kind of put them in a spot. And I told Chance, I was like, this could be you or me. Yeah. If you, we could have been, born into, a different circumstance, and that could have easily been one of us. So,
right.
Yeah.
And it does develop appreciation of life.
Yeah.
I will say there's a woman, I'm going to give her a shout out if that's okay, because I love the work she's doing right now. She has a beautiful podcast and just a profound story. We're hopefully going to be authoring her book because it is so deep and so touching. And it's a miracle that she is even alive. I mean, it is just beautiful. And she has a podcast, and every person she brings on, she asks them what their favorite scripture is. And they have no idea why she's asking, right? And so she ends up making them socks with that scripture
that's so sweet.
Knitted into the bottom of it. And then she puts them on her website for sale. And people over the holidays are buying all of the socks to give away to the homeless. Because one of the things that homeless people, besides toothbrushes and toothpaste, we always think of feeding them, but really they also need socks because otherwise they don't have always the ability to wash anything out. And so they wear them until they disintegrate. And in the cold temperatures in many areas, they then have bare feet in shoes.
Yeah.
And so giving them the gift of socks is like ongoing. It's why Bombas, the sock company does, you buy one, they provide socks to the homeless. And so I really believe we have to do those things in our world. Our world is shrinking. We are becoming more and more aware of what our basic needs are. And that's what this is all about.
Yeah. I have a thing with that Trey will know. I'll have Trey tell you that way. So I have a thing that my grandpa taught me, and my grandpa always talked about it. My mom would always talk about it, and I truly believe it, about like when you pass a homeless person. And what is my thing, Trey? They could be.
I don't know what.
Wait, is it not you? They could. I always feel like they could be like Jesus, right? Like or an angel or something. Like
you have not told me this.
I did not. My grandpa would always say like like that could be like God or an angel or somebody that you're just passing by that's not I don't know. I had a thing that kind of got out of hand at one point where my crews really loved to give money out the window to homeless people, and that's what he would want to do for fun. And we would, he would like go around and give them money, and then we did food one time, and the guy was not very nice, and I was like, I think they just want our money. Let's just stick with dollars. But I do think that, like, I always feel like that. You know, what if that's God disguised as a homeless person, and I'm just ignoring him, and that would not be, you know, then I would probably not do well.
Not be.
That's right.
Jesus
Yeah,
thing to do.
yeah. So I don't always, because I don't really have a lot of cash. But if I do, I don't know. I just feel like it could. You never know. They're
It's
just
true.
yeah.
I agree
never
with
know.
you.
Yeah, it could be.
Totally agree.
It could be like an angel.
Well, Lori, thank
Wait,
you.
we have to do our New Year's resolutions.
Oh.
So come on, guys.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Like, we can't do a New Year's episode without resolutions.
so true.
Trey.
Yes.
Okay, mine is to be a model
Something
and a
that's
fitness influencer.
but something. Okay, what are you gonna do to get there?
Mine is to do the Vancouver half marathon that Stephanie bullied me to sign up for.
Oh
in
my
less
goodness.
than 3 hours.
Ooh, less than 3 hours. Oh my gosh. Okay.
But just under 3 hours.
How are you gonna get there?
I'm going to.
What are you gonna do to make that happen?
I might practice running.
Or at least
more than I
walking.
did last time. Yes. Yeah.
Or drink more Red Bull than normal.
Yes.
The day of the race.
Yep.
Okay, I love that. Anything else, or is that your only one?
No, that's it. Everything else pretty spot on. I'm doing great.
I love it.
Nothing else I
Trey
changed.
will talk
Oh my
later.
gosh. Okay. So,
Lori's like, I have a list for Trey.
yes. So half marathon and
in under 3 hours.
3 hours.
Oh,
Okay.
my
So pretty much
goodness.
you want to be like me.
That's
my
what I meant
last-
to say. Is I want to be more like Stephanie this year. Yes.
Okay. I also want to, because we're doing the race together, so I do have a goal. I want to do my half marathon in 2.5 hours. So, and I really want to not worry about my bathroom situation beforehand. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm
I'm
going to do
actually
it.
changing mine.
2.5.
I just want to beat Stephanie.
Okay, then you have to beat 2.5. Okay, so
don't-
Trace is to beat me, and
Yeah.
that
No,
will-
he'll be
yes.
chasing you.
He will.
Yes.
He will. Trust me. You don't know if I. Actually, I feel like we could run together because I would never stop just because of you. Like I would die before I stop before you. I would never. I would be like, no way, no
Might be
way.
the motivation that we both need.
Yes. Right? Like
If I slowed down, she would just like take off.
yeah, I'd be like,
Like,
see
he's
ya.
down. Yeah. She'd like trip me. Like, good luck.
Laxative cookies the day before. I have ways.
Lori, and I just want you to know how much fear, not faith, I have around Stephanie's revenge for the laxative.
It's gonna happen.
I have a
It's
lot of
gonna
fear. I
happen.
have no faith. I
Yeah.
have just fear that
gonna
it's
happen.
not going to be good.
You
Yeah.
won't know. You won't know. I see. I'm
Element
gonna
of
wait.
surprise.
Yeah, it will be such a surprise. He will forget about it,
See?
and
I
then
won't.
he'll be home. And what I'm gonna do is gonna like hit him, and he'll be like, "Oh no, it happened," and I
I'm
had
gonna
no
go
idea.
and sit on the sidelines and crack up.
It's gonna be so good. It's
I'll
gonna
ride
be
the
so good.
boys' electric bike.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lori, what's your
Yes.
New Year's resolution?
My New Year's resolution is to be healthier and to have a better health year. To spend quality time with my grandkids and my family and my sweet hubby, and to reach, and I'm going to declare this,
Okay.
1 million women and help them unleash their stories for healing.
I love that.
I love it.
1
Well,
million.
We are selfish assholes over here, just wanting to run a little faster.
We're just looking to be models.
You know, yeah.
Well,
we
I
are.
want to drop a few
fitness influencers.
sizes, so
Yep.
Ray
that
and
would
I's
be good
goal is
too.
also to get a fitness influencing campaign.
Yes.
Call
Just
us.
one. Just one.
Yes, call us.
We'll
love
direct
it.
them.
Yes, we will do it.
Lori, thank you so much. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Walk with Lori on Instagram and Lori Lane Dixon on Facebook. You get to actually be on my personal page and watch what goes on. Can I also give them an offer
Yes.
for
Yeah.
January?
Oh, yes, please, please.
Okay, I've been working on this. So for 2025, for the new year, it's a new year, new you call. It's $75 for 30 minutes. And I want you to know, if you know me, we go over the 30 minutes, so it's a great deal. DM me on Instagram or message me on Facebook. And I'm also going to give a discount on other packages and programs like working through your story. So if you want that, you need to text on DM or PM and I will respond.
Yeah, reach out to Lori because last year when she did this, she booked up quick.
Yep.
Yes.
So if you want to talk to Lori,
Only
get on her
in the
schedule
month
now.
of January.
Now, do not message Trey.
Do
and
not
I
message
trying
me.
To book
No,
Lori.
that's not how it works. Reach out to Lori.
You get on my calendar.
I'll happily send you her Instagram
immediately.
at Walk with Lori. But
Yes.
yep. So
I
thank you,
can't
Lori,
wait.
so much for
Yes.
doing this. We always love having you in the studio.
Thank
and I know our
you.
listeners enjoy it too.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Trey.
Oh, you can follow me at Trey_Stewart.
You can follow me at Steph Holman
And you
on
can follow our podcast
yes.
at what?
Instagram, Facebook,
Yep.
TikTok.
Yep. You can follow our podcast at VS the Podcast. Bye.
Bye.